Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to run through how to make a Joyner type beat. I hope you're pumped, so am I. I just made this beat. It is super fucking fire. We're going to run through how it works, why Joyner would kill this, and how you can emulate this type of style and this type of beat. Let's jump straight into it. So we started off with this cymatics loop called Trigger Finger. It's from the Cymatics Destiny pack in the various section right here. It's 150 BPM in C minor. I didn't transpose it or anything. I didn't speed it up. But the only processing I did on it is I added a high pass filter that automates throughout the songs to let the 808s and the kick breathe in the hooks and in certain points in the verse when I wanted to, but also to really fill out in the verse when the 808 kick isn't playing. And I added some ozone imager too to give it a little bit of stereo width to really make it immersive in the mix. So this is what the loop sounds like. In the intro there's a lot of bass, and then you can see the low pass filter here starting to cut out the lows into the hook. I'm going to skip along, drops out again for the verse, and then we come back here, it cuts back out. I actually pitched this section up by a full octave, and then it cuts out again, lots of bass, and then for the hook it sweeps back in, and that basically just repeats for the whole song. So we've got intro, hook, verse, and hook, and it just ends on the hook, and that's the structure of the song. Really simple. So the drums are really simple. We've got the hi-hat here. I've got the 6th step rolls, which I'm actually super in love with right now. Basically how you do them is you go up to this little magnet, you pick 6th step, you go to the cut tool, and then you zoom right in, and the first grid snap from the start of the hi-hat, you just cut it there, like I've done here and here. I've done it a couple of times. This is basically just a 2-bar loop of hi-hat rolls, just copied. And then I've got some lower hi-hats in the first 2 bars of each section here to give it a little bit of variation between each section. Super fire, sounds like this. Moving on, we have a super simple clap pattern. Then we have the classic accent snare. However, I've removed the first accent snare from the second half of this section, and right at the end of the 8-bar loop we have a triplet roll that descends in pitch, just to signify this end of the 8-bar loop and something big's coming, you know. It sounds like this. Super simple open hat that sort of passes back and forth between the clap and the accent snare. That repeats over a 4-bar loop. And moving on to the meat and potatoes, I've actually got 2 808s patterns going on. They're the same 808, but they play slightly different patterns. The first one is much simpler. A lot of it plays on the root note of C with some jumps back and forth. Make sure you cut your 808s to this off so that they don't overlap each other and sound all muddy and shitty, but this is what it sounds like. And this kick pattern follows the simple 808. With those 2 playing together, it sounds like this. Super fire. Now moving on to the more complex 808. It's still quite simple. We've just added a few more 808s hits on the root note with a triplet roll here, and that's basically it. It sounds like this. Super fire. And I basically just have the busy 808 in the second half of the hook just to generate the most energy, and the really simple 808 comes in the first part of the hook and periodically within the verses as well. I also have a soft clipper on the kick because without it, it peaks to like positive 6 dB. So you just throw a soft clipper on that bad boy and you get no more clipping, but it still punches really hard. And for transition effects, we have this Goku Riser effect by Cody. It takes care of all the major transitions in the song, like coming into the hook or when we're dropping the kick and the 808 into the verses. We have this really basic riser, which just emphasizes some dropouts or some other change in transition in the song structure. So from like hook to verse, or like when the hi-hat drops out, or like anything like that I found that I want a little bit more emphasis on, I just dropped that very simple riser in there. And then I also have this AK-47 special effects in the hook only to make sure it has maximum energy. There's no processing on that. I just dropped it in, sent it to a mixer and leveled it. And I just have my tag as well. Super simple, super easy. So the arrangement's fairly simple in the hook. Like I said, I have the simple 808 in the start and the chaotic 808, I'm going to call it, in the second half, with a cutout of the hi-hat into the second half of the hook so that we have maximum energy. And then in the first part of the verse, we have some cuts of the hi-hat and just the clap, very simple, and a Goku riser into the last 3/4 of this part of the verse, where just the kick and 808 are going to be playing, the simple version of the 808 too, I might add. And then into this next 8 bars, we just have the clap and the hi-hat playing again, with the end of the hi-hat being cut off because it's dropping into the hook, so we want a little bit more emphasis on that as well with the Goku riser. And then we have the hook repeating itself again, and then we have the verse. Like from here, basically I just copied it over, and this is the intro. Super simple. These two sections are identical. That's identical. These are identical. They're just copied over. And then this second half of the verse is copied over as well. So it basically just copies itself. Very simple structure, very effective structure. It ends on this third hook here. And yeah, I just replaced this last basic riser. You see how at the end of these hooks they have the basic riser, but I just ended it with the Goku riser just to signify the end of the song. Put a big emphasis on it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to play it through now. I hope you enjoyed watching. I enjoyed making it. This is a much less edited, cut together, making of a beat-esque episode that I don't usually make. Let me know if you like it. Like the video if you do like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Hit the bell notification to be notified next time I post a video. And if you enjoyed it, yeah, let me know. I hope you're doing well wherever you're watching from. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.